At the moment, we're celebrating the holy month of Ramadan, which is the holiest month for Muslims. It's the month that the Quran was revealed, and it's a very significant time, particularly on the heels of what's happened in Christchurch, what's happened in Sri Lanka, and what's happened in the States and in Europe. In general, the mood in the community has been pretty positive. We're a very resilient community. That's not to say that the incidents of the past don't weigh on people's mind. They do, and I think each of all the different mosques and all the different communities around Victoria have spoken about it within their own context, within their own communities. They are aware of it, but I think generally the mood has been quite positive. I think particularly in relation to the support that flowed on from Christchurch, from the wider community. I think we've seen that extended into Ramadan, and you're seeing that by the number of people visiting mosques that are non-Muslims and joining in the iftars. I think there's been a record number of iftars this year by different sectors and different organisations. So people are recognising the importance of that to the community, and they're coming out to show their support. Look, I think the biggest issues facing the Muslim community at the moment would be, one of them would be employment. So statistically, research has found that although Muslims sit above the national average in terms of higher education, university degrees and postgraduate degrees, it's not necessarily translating into employment outcomes. We sit below the national average. So I think employment is a large focus, particularly for young Muslims. We know that there are areas, particularly in the northern suburbs of Victoria, where unemployment among youth is as high as 60 to 70%, which is almost a generation. So that is a priority for us. Another large issue for the community is Islamophobia, discrimination, which has been occurring, which occurs often on a regular basis, and we're trying to tackle that by working closely with organisations like the Victorian Equal Opportunity Human Rights Commission and Victoria Police. But the reality is it's an issue that affects particularly the more visible members of our community, so including predominantly the females. So I think events like Christchurch have sort of highlighted the Islamophobic elements that can occur, and has raised people's awareness, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done in that area. So I think those are the two biggest issues facing the community at the moment. So, I mean, the ICV is the peak council for Muslims living in Victoria. So we say we represent over 200,000 Muslims living in Victoria, but we're member-based, which means that we're made up of 65 different member societies, which can be described as mosques or Islamic centres around the state. So if you were to visit the northern suburbs, Meadow Heights Mosque, or if you were to visit the southeastern suburbs, Dandenong Mosque, these would be considered our member societies. We also have 15 affiliate members, which are more service-based.